For 30 minutes every Sunday morning from 5:30 to 6, Vince and I look forward to sharing with you some of the issues we see every day. Face it, if we believed everything we heard or read, none of us would ever think of buying a home again. The news has been nothing but negative about real estate values across the country. The next 30 minutes is our opportunity to dispel the myths associated with the real estate landscape in your local area. Within every marketplace, there are obstacles and solutions on the path to tremendous opportunities. Vince and I believe that most people are looking for practical advice. Real estate radio news has taken kind of a backseat to my favorite, the fiscal cliff this week. Vince, been very little.
Yeah, but before that is the end of the world. So
That's coming Friday.
That's coming Friday.
The
Yeah,
Mayan,
yeah. So
You and
I just want you to get me a paycheck early in the day.
You and I are doing a radio show on WBCB. We're going to do the World of Worlds.
I think we will. We'll have a lot of fun. Mario, you're welcome to join us, by the way.
Yeah, thank you.
According to Fiserv, they claim you better buy a house now. Home prices are expected to rise only mildly throughout 2013, but after that they're supposed to go up a lot more. So affordability index, now's the time to do it, right?
I got to tell you, I heard on the news on actually CNN or one of those stations that the housing market seems to be booming because there was such a slowdown prior to the election that we're actually going to see a slowdown in the beginning of the year, so the numbers aren't going to reflect very well.
Gotcha.
So to be patient and look past that, because they truly feel that they're coming around.
Well, they say by the end of 2013 they're going to move up, not substantially, but certainly at a greater pace than they've been, which leads us to, hey, the affordability index. Now is the time. It's like the perfect storm. Super low interest rates and super low values. I think we're back to like 2004 in terms of values. So,
which is great. Which is great.
Your credit is probably the biggest potential obstacle to owning a home today. Your rates tied to your credit score, everything about your world, it revolves around
and not
credit.
Just in the mortgage world.
Right, everything. Yeah. So that's why we're thrilled today to be joined by Mario Henry of Halo. Halo, I look at as a forensic credit specialist. They're not like the regular guys that just dispute everything that's derogatory on your credit report. They take it a step further. They're a specialized team of individuals that are exclusive to Halo that perform actual audits on your credit reports. What I always find interesting is these guys, the credit providers and the credit bureaus have rules, right? They have to live by, not just you and I, right? Yep. I just thought it was just you and I. But these guys have to live by rules. So Mario holds them accountable, which is kind of cool.
And I have to say, we've been dealing with Mario for quite some time. My years in the business, I had never met a person or learned so much from one person about credit, and I will never, ever subject my clients to anybody other than Mario to help them fix their credit. He is the real deal. He is, and his foundation, what else he does beyond credit is fantastic. So with that, Mario, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Vince, for that intro. It's humbling, and thank you, Peter,
well
for
deserved
inviting me on the show.
Always my pleasure. I learned probably more from you in several shows we had you on WBCB. I think I learned more from you in those two shows than anything else. Not to mention that you were the last person to wear number 12, I think, for the Patriots, right?
A long time ago. I warmed it up for Tom, huh?
Yeah, didn't you?
My favorite line of yours having to do not with credit was the NFL standing for not for long.
Yes, it does. And every Sunday, you could see why not for long is going to work when you look at the Eagles games. I promise you, you'll see a lot of last seasons.
Yeah. Yep.
After the season that we're watching.
And rightfully so. I hate to say it.
Well, it's time for them to make some changes. I get it. It is what it is. But so it's interesting. Again, we keep talking about credit. Credit always intrigues me. One of the things, Mario, that Vince and I spoke about on a former show, now the mortgage world's kind of an interesting world. For me to get a license today, I need to have literally mint perfect credit. The state called me, I don't know, about 6-9 months ago and said, hey, we have a problem. You have these things on your credit report. And I was actually a little confused and said, the things you're mentioning aren't on my credit report. What credit report are you looking at? And they went, oh, one from 2008. I'm like, really? It's 2012. Let me send you an updated one.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent them my updated credit report, and the state called back and said, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to pay off your parking tickets from 2004 that are on there. And I'm like, are you guys like calling me about my driver's license or my mortgage license?
Yeah.
They were like, no, it's your mortgage license. I'm like, it's a parking ticket. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And the funny thing is, the parking ticket is not even reporting the debt. A collection agency who bought the debt from the Philadelphia or parking authority or wherever you got the ticket, is the one who's reporting the debt. So it's not even a just situation, because what they're doing is they're taking a write-off for the ticket that you didn't pay,
right,
or whatever happened, and then what's happening is a third party's coming in, buying that debt at 15, 20 cents on the dollar, and then what they're doing is they're coming after you for 50% of the money, and then they're making a 30% profit, and it's not costing them anything. And then what they're doing is they're getting it on assignment, so they're not even paying for the money up front.
Right.
So there's no risk for them. So they take it on assignment from the collection agency, and when they get the money from you, they disperse out that 20 cents to the collection agency. They keep the 30% as pure profit.
Well, it's interesting from the show you explained that to me about. What I did was I went right to the parking authority and paid them directly, because I really, truly just wanted to make it go away. I didn't want to pay the collection people. I wanted to pay the parking authority.
Yeah, a lot of people make a mistake and pay the third parties, the collection agencies, either through the advice of their mortgage company or their realtors or, consumer credit counselors. But, that's about the worst thing that you can do, because a lot of times people have a misconception by I'm going to clean up my credit, and they tell you that they're going to start paying off the collections. When you pay in a collection, it just gets listed on the credit report as paid,
right,
and then it really doesn't do anything to the credit scores. In some cases, it goes down, and in many cases, you're going to start the clock back up as far as the amount of time that it could be on the credit report.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, it's interesting when I went through this again, having learned a little bit from you, enough to get dangerous about, and something I know Vince spoke to you about because I have to get back after it. But there's a statute of limitations on most things, and I think that's something else that, I read something recently, I don't know how accurate it was, but I read something on the web the other day that there's like a 4-year statute of limitations. If they don't attempt to collect that debt, I technically don't owe that debt.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, in the state of Pennsylvania, it's the first. It's pretty much once you have the default from the original creditor, the time starts right then and there.
Right.
In the state of Pennsylvania, it's 4 years. State of New Jersey is 6 years. Delaware is 3 years. So
okay.
Just the long and short is move to Delaware.
Yeah, exactly. There you
go. But what happens is once you're at the statute of limitations, they can't sue you for that debt, but that doesn't prevent them from being able to put it on your credit report.
Right.
So, a lot of times you're getting a lot of these collection agencies start using they start doing techniques called re-aging. So what they do is they'll start the clock from when they actually acquired the debt from the original creditor. Then what happens, and they're not starting the clock from the time period that you defaulted from the original creditor. So when we audit a company, we want to audit to be able to see all documentation and all proof from the original creditor. And what do they have?
Right.
Because if they're trying to collect the debt, then you need to prove that you have the right to collect the debt. And if you can't have the proof of the debt, then how are you collecting it? So what we want to do is we use the term forensic audit because we want to see everything. We don't want to do like what a lot of these credit repair companies do and just say, okay, everything's not mine, and they send that to the credit bureaus, and you may have a 15% deletion ratio if you do that. And then you may have 0, but the problem is sometimes things can come off the credit report for more reasons than something just not being yours. If they're making a mistake, if they re-age the account, if they have anything wrong, they have the wrong credit limit, the wrong credit balance, the wrong last date of activity, any of these type of things that are wrong have to be 100% accurate because of the Fair Credit Reporting Act.
And Mario, it's funny, when we had the pleasure of first meeting you, we had been working with several other credit companies, and their thing was what they tell everybody. And I think our audience listening, thinks of credit repairs, send a letter out, wait 30 days, they don't respond, it comes off your credit report. But what they don't realize is it comes back on the second, they decide to send it to another collection agency. You guys go in and you do 10 times what any other basic company, and we have worked with tons of them, that you actually go in and fix it, and it's fixed. It is not a problem that's going to return. Not only do you do that, but you rebuild credit. And it's so important. I want to get this message out so clearly to our listeners. Credit is absolutely...
It rules your world.
It rules your world, because the second your credit score drops, your mortgage rate changes. Guess what else changes? Your credit, your credit card limits drop, your credit card rates go up, and it's ridiculous. So,
an indication is, today the difference between a 719 score and a 720 score is about a quarter of a point in interest rate.
Yeah, it's amazing.
It's incredible.
And they're good scores, but the banking department has set its tone, it's set the way it wants to work, and the pendulum has swung the other way. But you guys have, done nothing short of amazed me every time. We just finished we're actually in the middle of a transaction where you brought a client score up legitimately almost 100 points, which gave him the opportunity to get the deal we didn't think we'd be able to get.
He's doing a VA loan.
Yeah, and I have to say your fee is nominal compared to some of these other companies.
Yeah, because what we're doing is we're really a real estate company, that are specialists in credit, but we're putting together real estate transactions.
Yeah.
So Halo is a very unique company that we're a hybrid of many different components. So we would work with Gateway in a situation like getting a client that's been rejected. Suppose you have somebody that has a 550 credit score, and now Gateway needs 640 credit score. And so what happens is, when we look at a credit report, first off, we want to be able to make sure that we're helping somebody that wants to help themselves. We don't want to take in clients that are habitual bad credit clients, because they're going to make our program look bad by defaulting on the mortgage that we get them.
Well, it's like
so
the
we
old
want to
adage,
make sure that we're getting individuals that don't have a whole bunch of evictions and things
They're
like
not
that.
chronic.
We want to make sure that we're helping the general population that made some mistakes, but then now understand that they want to be able to get a second chance.
Well,
we want to give people a second chance.
We used to, in the business, we used to read a credit report. You could actually tell whether a guy just, the old adage, bad things happen to good people. The VA loan gentleman, I believe his wife was horribly ill, did some nasty time in the hospital, and so his income dropped, and certainly she had no income. So we're literally looking at that as, okay, wait a minute, now that we have the score where we need it, I can document that she was in the hospital. That's not something that he shirked his responsibility. That's just something that came up that happens to people in life.
And, it was funny, in dealing with that specific transaction, as just about every other transaction we do with you, you shock me every time. I think it was less than 40 days that you came back with a 100-point difference on this guy's score. And when we had the opportunity to call him and tell him that, it was amazing. And I have to say to our listeners, Mario stays up my butt to make sure that I'm on time and on top of my clients as well as his clients. He is constantly calling me to make sure that I'm staying ahead of the game, because we get jammed up. He's the real deal, and we send him.
That's what a team is. I think that when that's what happens with our Halo business is that we've put together a program to where we're going to work with the mortgage companies, the realtors, and we handhold our clients, and then the clients become our advocates. We become their advocates whether or not you send it to us or we're sending it to you.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter. We want to get people to the finish line, and people come to us to buy a home. And so through the foundation, which is a nonprofit that we've established, the Halo Foundation, our mission statement is we want to help people who want to buy, who can't buy due to credit, and we want to help sellers who can't sell due to the economy. We have several million people throughout this country that can't sell a home right now because it's a buyer's market. So then they're either in a position to where they don't have as much equity, so they have to get retail for their house. And they can't just accept lowball offers. So what our company does is we match clients up with inventory like that, and the seller agrees to donate a tax-deductible donation to our foundation upon our client achieving a mortgage through them, and they're not paying for our client; they're paying as a pay-it-forward type of donation because we want to go nationwide.
Right.
And it's not free to go nationwide. There's going to be a lot of expenses.
Sure.
So, it's definitely, we understand. When you're working in the mortgage business, you have a lot of things. So I'd say that we're more of just trying to be like your assistant than anything to where we're trying to.
You absolutely complement what we do, and you give people. Where the mortgage companies are shutting people down, Peter and I have never been of the opinion you shut somebody down. We want to figure out a way to fix their problems over time. You have taken our desire and made it a reality, and I wish I was overemphasizing just a little bit, but I'm not. Where we're really helping people now, and they're not having to look over their shoulders. Again, with Halo, tell us a little bit more. You gave us an overview.
Okay.
You start with the credit process while you're working with the mortgage company. What does a client expect when they go through the process with you?
Well, a lot of our clients, really gave up on owning a house, and they're coming to us through either a realtor, a mortgage company, title company, attorney, or they've heard about us, through the internet or so forth. And then really what they want is if there's a possibility that they can own, they want to own. So when they enroll in our program, they pay a program fee, and the program fee is a tuition of $625. Or a lot of times what happens is when people do a FHA loan, they need 3.5% down.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't really want the tuition to come out of the $625.
Mm-hmm.
So we've arranged a payment plan to where we'll finance their costs to come into the program, and that's a $180 enrollment fee and 8 payments of $90. Now, 80% of our clients will be in a house before they finish paying us, so we get the balance of what's owed in the financing, and we roll it into the closing costs. So for the program fee tuition, what that's going to entail for the credit auditing, that's going to entail for us to be able to match them up with a certified realtor who understands our program and knows how to put the offers out. The certified mortgage companies like Gateway with Vince and Peter understand how to pre-qualify individuals for the program, subject to them being at 640 credit score.
Yep.
So, there's a lot of, and then it's also going to allow us to hold their hand throughout the whole process. We collect all their docs for them, and we package it up to give it to the mortgage company. We package everything up from the mortgage company to go to the realtor, and then you're working with our credit department. So it's a overall for less than what a credit repair company would charge you.
Yep.
You're getting just so much more, and then
less.
You're getting the real magic of what you're paying for is that sellers will actually accept your offer, even though your credit score is way off, because they know the reputation of our program,
right,
that they know in 60 or 90 days that they're going to be able to close on the house. So we become like a credit card,
yep,
to where we're going to give you a contract, we're going to put a property under contract, even though your credit scores technically would not qualify and nobody else would even show you a house, much less accept your offer. That's what people get with Halo.
Our current deal now, we put our client under an agreement of sale with a 548 credit score.
Right.
It was a 548 or 568, I can't remember, but
it was 548.
Yeah,
and I believe he's
662,
he's north of 660 now, if I'm not mistaken.
And
actually, the seller was so impressed they just called me because they actually wanted
the seller's coming to us for a mortgage because of that. But it's so consistent with you. Number one. The pricing is reasonable. You see these fly-by-night credit companies, and they do the whole letter campaign. I can't say enough. And it's truly, you're getting much more than just credit, which is fantastic.
And the best part is the client's vested in this. If the client's not vested in this, it doesn't work.
Absolutely.
If they don't want to make this happen for themselves, it's never going to work.
We can't take the clients who just say, just handle it, because we feel that the education is just as important as us fixing the situation.
Absolutely.
Or they're going to repeat patterns.
Absolutely.
So we definitely want for them to be vested in the situation. So, yes, they have to give us the documentation that we ask for. If we call you, we want you to call us back in 24 hours, return emails. Yep. We don't want flakes go into the program.
I'm your biggest flake, Mario.
And you're working with Vince? Oh, come on now.
That's only because Pete took the day off on Monday. That's my excuse for Monday. But
hey, man, we all do it. The bottom line is you guys are there. You guys are there 5:30 in the morning to do a show. So you can't be too flaky if you're coming in and coming in with that type of zest.
Well, you know what? We like to find ourselves grouping ourselves with people that care. This market needs it. We need to build the economy again. We need to build people's confidence in the economy.
Real estate is a bottom-up. It's a bottom-up process.
And you're not just there for real estate, although that's the major part. But, again, saving people from when their credit card goes from 0% interest to 30% interest because they went over 50% of the balance of their card. There's so much to it, and people need to know. We're constantly re-educating ourselves. So,
Mario, so our listeners know, what's the easiest way to find you?
Easiest way to find us is they can call our office. Our office is open from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday. And the toll-free number is 800-856-HALO, H-A-L-O. 800-856-HALO. Just when you call, please mention that you heard us on the Gateway show, because we always like to pair the people who come from Mortgage Resources back to those same mortgage individuals. So anybody that comes through and mentions that they were with Vince and Peter will actually be privileged enough to actually have them work. You guys work, on their files as they graduate from our program. So you could also go to our website at haloamerica.com, and you could look at the videos. You could look at, in the About Us section, you'll see former Police Commissioner Sylvester Johnson, who was a former client of ours. When the credit portion of our company is named Credit Evolution. The real estate portion of our company was Halo America. Now it's the Halo Foundation. We used to buy homes, renovate them, and sell them. But once we did proof of concept and we helped about 50 people, we don't like to have to continue to search for investors. We don't want to micromanage contractors, which is a real big pain. Now what we do is we stay lean and mean and do what we do, and pretty much package people, take them to the mortgage people, take them to the realtors, and then walk them through the transaction and meet them at the finish line. So that allows us to, work in a more of a grassroots type of capacity. And, our program can actually help 40% of the entire rental population, non-Section 8, own a house.
That's wonderful. And Mario, and for everybody out there, if you can always contact Peter, myself, to get a hold of Mario. He is truly one, if not the best I have ever worked with. He is the best I've ever worked with.
Thank you.
And we avidly use him and avidly refer him to everybody. He's just fantastic.
And I'll tell you, on the flip side of the coin, you guys come at things with educating your clients, and you don't really find that nowadays. You find a lot of mortgage guys want to rack you up with a whole bunch of nonsense fees, and try to make a home run off of every client. You guys aren't a nonprofit. You guys have to eat, but you guys have always been fair with your pricing. When I look at closing costs from Vince and Peter, and I compare it to any of the other closing costs from a lot of the other mortgage professionals that I've seen, you guys are definitely in the more favorable for the consumers that we've seen before, and we work with a lot of different mortgage companies.
Thank
you.
So
my hat's off to you guys as well.
The client definitely comes first. So Mario, thank you so much. Greatly appreciate the time, and I understand we were.
Thank you guys for having me.
Cool,
yep.
and we'll have to grab lunch one of these days.
Yeah,
Vince keeps telling me you want to feed me because I look a little malnourished.
Yeah, exactly. And
all right, cool. Vince, just hit me up a little later on, man.
I will, my friend.
Thanks
and
again,
have a
Mario.
great day.
Take care. All right.
Enjoy. All right. So, we again, fiscal cliff is approaching. Credit is probably the most vital thing that takes place. We think
Absolutely.
Mario is the answer to the riddle for a lot of that.
There really is. Again, when we go into real estate, Pete, there's a line. I think the client, it's an education, huge word, education. Take it, use it, get it from people that are offering it to you. And if they're not offering it to you, walk out.
The one thing we keep pushing is learn now what you need to do. So if you're thinking about buying a house, you might want to let us run your credit to see if you need a Mario.
Yep. And the other thing is, with Mario, we can actually send him your credit report. He'll do a free analysis of your credit and tell you exactly what's going to happen, which I find, and he's very accurate. I mean, he's 98% accurate on his numbers, which is far better.
So easiest way to reach Peter is 215-740-8999, and Vince?
610-564-0620. Pete, you can find us on Facebook.
Real Estate Radio News,
yep.
Real Estate Reality Radio.
Or find us
peterbucksbaum.com.
and friend us. We're always there, and we really do love what we do.
Yeah, we find again today is just learn. Literally just come and ask questions. What was the old thing, Vince? No question is a stupid question except the one you didn't ask.
Exactly.
Oh, you asked a pretty stupid question earlier today.
Yeah, I know. I like to test your boundaries of my stupidity. So anyway, but thank you, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. I know I'm going to grab my cup of coffee now, and have a wonderful holiday. Actually, we will.
We'll be after Christmas.
We will be after Christmas,
Before
and
New Year's.
as long as the world is intact and no solar flares or aliens have done anything to derail us. So, thanks so much.
Have a great day.